What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. And this is an update episode, so be prepared here. This is not good news. This may be triggering for some. I don't know. But we got an update on Lonzo Ball. And so he had a Zoom press conference, and the quotes that came out of this are even more concerning. And while, listening to Arturas, listening to just what we've heard so far about Lonzo Ball's recovery, it seemed like they really did think that he was going to be able to make a recovery without an additional surgery. But hearing this today after today's press conference, he said, I still can't, this is quotes from Lonzo Ball, I still can't play basketball. I still can't run or jump. It's every day. Even going upstairs and stuff, it's still painful. He's set to undergo his surgery on Wednesday and will be evaluated in 4 to 6 weeks after that. But this changes, at least some to me. He says he experiences pain just in normal life, not even basketball activities. So I think this conflicts a little bit in what we've heard. We've heard that, they were confident that Lonzo Ball was going to be that he was going to be able to recover without the surgery, that they thought that initially, that they were trying to hold off surgery because they didn't want to open him back up. When you're not even able, and even with that said, right, let me take a step back, because we heard some things that there were some progress made in August, that there was some. This doesn't sound like progress. To be unable to run or jump at all, what progress are you making to get back on the basketball court if that's the case? At this point, he's experiencing pain just living normal life, just everyday life, if he was just a normal person living on the street like you and me. That is highly concerning for Lonzo Ball, and that makes the question come back up. I have been very supportive in the fact of not really asking questions on why the surgery was held off, because it seemed like, hey, he was making some progress. It didn't get to the point to where we needed it to go to. At that point, once we got close to the start of the season, we decided to go ahead with surgery, and so we can get him back sooner rather than later. But with the way that this sounds now, right? And maybe these quotes are taking out of, well, it's hard to take them out of context, right? But with that being said, like, to not be able to even run or jump or walk up steps at all without experiencing some high pain, if you've been suffering that since you had the surgery in January, it raises more questions on why they didn't just do the surgery early. Now, I'm a big proponent of not doing the woulda, coulda, shoulda. You will leave yourself in a rabbit hole of thoughts and depression with life if you are always a woulda, coulda, shoulda person. But at the end of the day, it just raises more questions on just the whole handling of this Lonzo Ball thing, the way that the news has been handled, like even hearing LeVar Ball, and this is why for Ball family stands is going to be triggering, why I don't really give a damn what LeVar Ball says sometimes. He just says, so LeVar Ball say his sons will be okay. If you knew your son couldn't even make it up steps, how are you confident that he's going to be be ready by the start of the season? Everything that we've heard over the course of this Lonzo Ball situation has all been conflicting, all been back and forth. We hear one good update, one bad update, whatever it was. This latest news is just another sign in the sense that, hey, he probably should have gotten the surgery earlier. I understand, right? Let me be clear. The human in me completely understands not wanting to be opened up again. You always want to try to avoid, if there's a path, no matter how bleak that may look or how much of not being cut open again, you try to do that. Even though the debridement that he's getting is debridement is a quote unquote minor surgery, and it's pretty common amongst people who've had part of their MCL removed. Let's be clear. It is very, very common. So it's not like it's a weird thing that just Lonzo Ball's going through, but it's common. But it's like, why not make it? I understand waiting a month. I understand waiting 2 months. I can understand waiting 3 months. I can understand, but at the point when you're 9 months almost removed from when you had the surgery initially, it raises tons of questions on what were the milestones that they were waiting to hit for him to be able to get on the basketball court. Because at this point, like, what basketball milestones are you looking to be hit? What basketball achievements are you looking to be hit when the man can't even walk up the steps without experiencing high-level pain? But with that being said, let's talk about the hopeful part of it. In this, he's still very hopeful that he's going to return this season. He's very confident in the fact that he's going to return this season. And that he does think that this surgery is going to fix and correct these nagging knee issues that have been plaguing him. So, he gets the surgery tomorrow. Many have labeled this the worst case scenario for the Bulls and Lonzo Ball, but at this point, he says that he does not anticipate that it's going to keep him out all season. He expects to return this season, and he calls missing this season is a worst case scenario. Missing this season, the 2023 season, is a worst case scenario. And my thing is that and this is not to Lonzo Ball, but no shit, right? No shit, it's a worst case scenario for you. An injury that originally was going to be 6 to 8 weeks to turn into over a year if he does end up missing the full season. And while in today's earlier video, I did say we do need to prepare in case he does miss the whole season, right? We need to prepare as if. We don't need to be sitting around waiting for Lonzo Ball. We need to get this team ready and geared up and ready to go as if this is going to be the final version of our team. But there is some big question marks around all of this. Even the fact that it's still not a clean line of no, he will be able to return, which until he's reevaluated, considering with just how this injury is gone, I could understand the Bulls, the doctors and all not wanting to guarantee, and even Lonzo not wanting to guarantee anything. But man, oh man. I mean, I'm glad to have an update, glad to hear from Lonzo Ball, glad that he feels confident, but like, I feel sorry for Lonzo when it's all boiled down to it, like to still be experiencing that level of pain that long after a injury, that initial timeline was 6 to 8 weeks, got to be frustrating for him. As frustrating as it is for Bulls fans who want to see him out on the court, imagine how frustrating it is for the person actually experiencing it. Hopefully we see this all corrected sooner rather than later for Lonzo and the Chicago Bulls. And hopefully this surgery, and when we get that reevaluation in 4 to 6 weeks, and I don't expect it to be, hey, it's been 4 to 6 weeks, he's reevaluated, he's back on the court. But at least we can have a more clear timeline. Hopefully he's not experiencing that pain. Hopefully he's able to get back on the basketball court, do some running, do some things like that. But the thing is, with missing this amount of time, not being able to run, not being able to jump, even with that 4 to 6 week timeline, for the people who thinks that it's going to be Lonzo Ball immediately comes back and he's thrusted into the starting lineup, the path to Lonzo Ball being back to the starting point guard is going to take some time. Because even when he's ready to be back on the basketball court, you have to work back into your rhythm. You have to get back into chemistry with this team. You have to trust your body and that knee again. We'll see how it goes. But prayers up to Lonzo Ball. I'm thankful for the update. Bulls fans, let me know what you guys think about everything down below. Make sure you're following the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related because of you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.